Okay, let's talk about Flickr Maps. First thing, Flickr is an online photo sharing community located at flickr.com, as you see here on the screen in front of you. Like other similar communities such as BuzzNet or Shutterfly, Flickr is a free service. It's owned by Yahoo, so if you have a Yahoo account, you've already got a Flickr account, you probably just need to activate it. Otherwise, it's a free service you can sign up for. And you can use this site to post photos to share with friends and family. You can also use it to network and find other photographers and people with similar interests to you. For instance, if you like to take photographs of old buildings, you can join a group about old buildings and meet all kinds of people that have similar interests. One of the interesting services that Flickr provides is the ability to geotag your photos. Let's have a look at that. I'm signed in as myself, so I'm going to go to my U menu, and one of the things I can go to is my map. Flickr takes a moment to load the map, and you see all these little pink dots on my map. Those represent photos that I've geotagged and placed on the map. Okay, let's find a place. Let's try Indianapolis. I happen to have some photos there. Okay. And you see me dragging on this little slider on the right of the screen. That's just a little zoom control so I can go in further and further. If I want to see a particular photograph I placed on the map, I can click the dot, and there it is. There's a picture of the skyline that I took. Let's see what else we got here. Picture of Peyton Manning on the RCA Dome side, and notice if I click on it, I'm taken to the photo itself. That pops up in a new tab. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And we'll look at one more. Okay, this is a picture of Union Station in downtown Indy. So that's kind of a neat thing, isn't it? And so you see how this works. Along the bottom of the screen here, I have all of my geotagged photos in this particular set. And you can see them all listed here, kind of at a glance. Okay, back to my Flickr homepage. The next question is, how do we actually get the photos on the map? Let's look at a few ways for doing that. One of my other menus here is Organize. I'm going to go to Organize Your Map. That is my map. So what this does, it opens the map up, and notice it's queued up the last place I was looking at, Indianapolis. And down along the bottom of the screen here, I've got actually all my photos I can scroll through. And you'll notice each photo with a little blue dot on it is a geotagged photo. That's what that means. So I can scroll through here and see some of the photos I've geotagged. If I click on one, see how it queues it up? I'm going to scroll back to the beginning here. Okay, I've got this photo from earlier this year that I want to tag. First I'm going to have to find a location though. We're going to go to Fincastle, Virginia. Here we go. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. See what we got here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Let's have a look with our hybrid map. Okay, now it was generally in this area I took the photograph. Now, I could do a little more work and find out exactly where it is, but I just want to approximate it. So what I'm going to do is just drag this right to here, and here it is. This photograph of the moon rising over Fincastle, and notice I can click on it, and I can add to the description, I can add tags, I can even delete it if I want. I don't need to do any of that info. So I'm just going to click cancel, and that is one way to geotag pictures. If I return to my photo gallery and look at the same picture, notice I have the option to view it on a map. If I click on that option, it brings up a miniature view of the map with the picture. Of course, I have my zoom control like I would otherwise. And also notice in the lower right corner of the map window, I had the geographic coordinates of the geotagged image. Now let's look at another way to geotag pictures. Let's take this purple monster image here, this processed image. And on the right of the screen, I've got some additional information. One of my links here is place this photo on a map. I can click on this, and Flickr takes me to the last known location I was at on the map and has queued up the picture. So at this point I just need to go to the proper location. In this case, this photo was taken in Radford. I'm going to switch to the hybrid map, and we're going to zoom in. If we go in far enough, we'll probably be able to see the building that I'm sitting in right now. And we're going to drop this right in this area of construction. And there we are. Another feature of the Flickr map, in addition to viewing the regular map view, we can go to a hybrid view, as you see me enabling here. Let's zoom in. Let's see where we're at here. Wow, we're on the northern Pacific Rim. You see me navigating here just by dragging. I think there's some land down this way. Though I could also just zoom out a little bit and save myself some effort. Almost there. Okay. Mainly what I wanted to show you was you can see some of the ridges and mountains under the ocean, and you can see more of the details on the land with the hybrid map enabled. Here we are in North Dakota. Let's zoom in. Okay, we can start to see some roads and some more details. If you've ever seen Google Maps, this is a similar thing. Okay, the farther we go in, the more detail we get. If we go to a satellite, which is another function, we have a similar view. If we go in far enough, we can see more details in the geography of a given area. I'm going to zoom out because we're actually in a pretty rural spot of North America. Let's zoom up to, that's interesting. Let's just go straight to a known busy spot. Here we are. Okay, and let's zoom in. There's all kinds of activity to see here. Check this out. We can even see buildings, which is pretty wild. Switching to hybrid gives us all the street names, which is pretty neat. And of course, going to the regular map, we get more of an animated feature. Finally, I guess a question we could touch upon is, what can you use maps and geotagging for? Well, there are some of the usual suspects. That is, students involved in international travel, faculty involved in exchange programs, or faculty and students involved in the geologic or geographic sciences. History majors. When you start to think about it, you can draw a parallel to almost any field of study in which travel or putting images in a geographic context is useful. Another part of this issue is the newness of geotagging technology, and one person will think of a totally different use for this than another, be it in a creative context, an educational one, or otherwise. Many will see deeper uses for these kinds of technologies when you consider the metadata that can be obtained when getting the geographic coordinates of an image and using all this information in some kind of mashup.